Hi, I'm Osman. I am an energy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities and specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. Also, amongst other host of physiological, psychological, as well as spiritual ailments, especially specializing in uh, uh, helping people overcome um, the negative effects of involuntary Kundalini um, activation, right? I've developed a protocol, usually within one session, usually telepathically, I can, resolve it. And also, of course, depending on each person. And I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing for almost 50 years to date and teaching yoga and meditation for 44 years and having studied it under many masters in different schools of thought in the fields of yoga and having taught students worldwide in over 100 countries, thousands of students over the decades, specializing, I would say, in Kundalini yoga, overall wellness protocols, and longevity, right, from the advanced yoga perspective. And also remember that if you want to get more information on my services, you can visit my website yogawellness786.com. My therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. Which is the most superior chakra, right? So this is starting to become a slightly debatable topic, because I'm starting to see some people, very fraction of a percentage of people, alerting that the heart is the highest, not the seventh chakra. So in a linear fashion, if you follow the seven major chakras, not the seven chakras, seven major chakras, because there's 114 chakras that I know of, right, in the body. So starting from the base of the spine upwards, right, because there are seven chakras downwards as well, right, the negative, which I'll discuss in another video. So the heart chakra is the fourth chakra, and then the fifth is the throat chakra, third eye chakra is sixth, and the seventh chakra is the crown of the head, connecting you to the universal energy or the cosmic energy, right? So a lot of people say that chakra is the highest because it comes to sabikalpi samadhi, where you experience the vastness of everything but still retaining your identity as an individual, and you can perceive the difference, right, when you're on that level. So I believe it's the heart chakra among the minority, because even in my own development, I was so confused as my chakras were like completely awakening, right? With the Kundalini awakening, it goes through and unblocks each one by one, completely, removing all the baggages that were there, right? And for me, there was wasn't much resistance because of ongoing long-term practicing holistically of yoga together with the practicing morals and ethics. So, especially when you study the Yoga Sutras refers to the school of yoga called Raja Yoga, right? It's not the only school of yoga, it's one of the schools of yoga. There are other schools of yoga which incorporates Tantra, the Kundalini yoga part of it. And there's no mention of Kundalini in Yoga Sutras, right? And Hatha Yoga, there's no mention of Hatha. They just hasten one, the one verse that referring to a very comfortable posture, referring to the sitting posture, for meditation and pranayama, right? And a lot of people misinterpret that into different yoga postures, that you have to do it very sublimely and relax. No, it's referring only to the sitting posture. They got no reference to Hatha Yoga in the Yoga Sutras, and they don't believe in Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is another school of yogic sciences, right? And specialization. And so I combine Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, um, and mantra yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, Jnana Yoga, right? Multiple, and Laya Yoga or Tantra, right? In my this thing, and I've studied under great masters, right? And definitely on master level, right? Not grand master level, but on master level. My teachers were on grand master level, right? And in all these schools. So in my development, I was always wondering, and later on, I felt that the heart, but the bottom line, the heart is more important. What's the use? I've experienced samadhi, multiple on 5 occasions. I'm not an enlightened person, but I've had, because it's normal to get a taste of the experience, so you know what you're working towards. And because it's a lot of discipline, you have to spend like many hours and a lot of sacrifices, and and I've refined the protocols to make it, simpler, quicker, faster, and adapted for the 21st century. But still, it involves a lot of this thing. So I'll give you an example. The one person said he was practicing too much of pranayama, like 30 minutes a day, half an hour every day, and it exhausted him and so forth. I'm thinking, what is he talking about, right? Minimum for advanced yoga, minimum, like starting point, level one, is 3 hours a day of pranayama, right? Minimum for meditation is 12 hours, minimum for advanced level, right? Now people say it's not practical, where's the time for sleeping, and all these things, so they, want to sound weird. But the great masters, they Valalar or Ramalinga Swamigal, advocated 12 hours a day for meditation, 9 hours a day for work, 3 hours for sleep, right? So of course, don't do that. Don't sleep 3 hours, 7 to 9 hours, right? You are not on that level of Ramalingas. You're not on the grandmaster level. So even myself, I need a lot of sleep, right? I'm on a master level, right? Of consciousness, and I'm on the brink of the superconscious state, right? Having experienced samadhi, and now to start, because the body needs to be able to withstand, to stay in samadhi for long periods of time, right? For hours and sometimes for days on end. And some people, I mean, theoretically, that's why it's important to learn the theory, right? Must not stay in samadhi more than 21 days at a stretch. Come out of it. Naturally, you'll come out of it because the body will. But if you insist and stay on it, then you will not be able to return to your body, right? 21 days maximum that you stay in the breathless state without breathing and so forth. So when I talk things like that, it sounds like hocus pocus stuff, and I understand, right? So coming back to the, which is the, supreme, this most superior chakra, and from my experience of the development, and that time I didn't even know what are these colors that I'm seeing. And I asked a lot of people, they had no answer. I said, why is this thing, it's like so amazing, I'm seeing yellow color, and I'm seeing orange color, and I'm seeing red color, then I'm seeing, like the multicolors, right? First I saw the multicolors, right, of the Sahasrara chakra. Like if I put, even with the open eye, I put my hand in front of me, I can see like amazing multicolors is, going, hitting my finger, right? It's activation of the seventh chakra, right? And this chakra is felt like black light, but it's indigo. They theoretically call it indigo, but when I experienced it, it felt like black light, and the third eye opens, when you go through like a tunnel, and then it opens, and boom, you're out of your body, and you can see 360 degrees, past, present, and future, and any distance you just think you could see that this thing. And manifestation also becomes, easy, through that, controlling, what you need and so forth. Take everything that I'm saying with a teaspoon of salt, right? So coming back to the colors, let's stick to, the point. It's just, unfortunately, the subject is so diverse and so rich that, this mentioning a word needs so much of discussion, right? Every point that I say, coming towards the point requires like a whole lifetime of explanation. So coming back, I was observing these colors in progression, right? So a lot of people say it doesn't necessarily follow that progression. It can be any other. I disagree. Yes, the Kundalini will go to a certain that is in trouble, that needs to be deactivated, and you perceive that one that is busy with work, but it went through. It is, if it's in the base of the spine and it's coming up in a linear, it's not going to disappear from the spine and appear in a chakra, right? It comes up and it's attached from the bottom. It's coming up like a serpent. So the tail is still, that's why they call it a serpent. It's not really a snake. It feel like it's a tail and it's like a string, going up, traveling. So you're feeling it one day only in your heart or only in your throat or only, so there's some blockages there that is busy with, and you're perceiving it when it's there, right? So I used to see it in order, and there is some, fortunately, I've studied in multiple schools of thought. They say no, the first chakra is not the root chakra on the base, right? I mean, the English word is root, Mooladhara, in the Sanskrit, the thing, but they say no, that's not the. Um, yes, it follow in that because it's based there, it's following, but it's not the hierarchy. Because if the heart chakra is the main one, you get the three lower chakras, the material chakras, and three spiritual chakras, and the heart is the center, right? So from the heart, if you go upwards, and down, they go in different opposite directions. So it's from the top down to the heart. The first chakra I found activated, and in a lot of people, when I do chakra and blocking, is the seventh chakra. And then it is the indigo, and then light blue, right? And then the red, and then the orange, and then the yellow, right? So it is, the hierarchy is supposed to go that the throat one is the next level above, in the spirituality is the first level. Second level of spirituality is the sixth one, and third level of spirituality is the seventh one. But I disagree. I say the first one, because everyone's connected to the, you can't be alive if you're not connected. By default, you're connected there, right? And then your intuition and creativity awakens next. And then to awaken your mystic powers, connection with the spirit world, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, comes from the throat chakra. So some people disagree. They say the development, of the third eye that causes clair. Yes, because you can see with it, it's an aid to it. But your power of control of the mystic world awakens when your throat chakra activates. And they said it's very hard for that because people get stuck in this third eye chakra, and they don't develop it further, and they get lost in that, and they don't proceed, further, doing more pranayama, more meditation. They feel they reached, and they start slowing down and slackening, right? And as you're going to the next higher and the next higher level, it becomes more and more difficult to reach it. So if it took you like 15 years to open the third eye, it's going to take you, like that much longer to open the throat chakra. And so the colors of light I saw, the penultimate color I saw was the light blue, which is here. The last one that I saw was green. When I saw the green color, the heart chakra, right? Completely in the amazing green color, amazing, so beautiful green color, fully surrounded everywhere, right? And I felt that I am not thirsty anymore to increase more and more knowledge. Just knowledge unlimited, but I felt the important is love. You know, to love each other, be beneficial to each other. I don't want to become one with the universe, and I want to serve people. I want to help people, and I want to serve myself also. I want to take care of my family. I want to develop, be the best in my business, and make sure that I'm doing the best, in terms of my protocols, not, cheating people and so forth, and, trying to bring about some type of benefit, of course, making money as well. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm money focused. So, a lot of negative connotation goes to people who's religiously developed, but they interested in money. So, but money doesn't rule me. I've been as an entrepreneur, anyone who's an entrepreneur, you go through ups and downs. You become poorer than the poorest for long periods of time, and you become richer than the richest for short periods of time, and you become poorer and then the poorest. So I went up and down, I don't know how many times, right? Lost businesses, made money, lost, made, lost. But whether I've had no money or had so much of money, I was still the same person. I'm now going through, like, it was post COVID. I lost my eyesight, and took a long time for me to adjust to how to manage myself because I'm always independent. I still took care of myself all the time. newly lost my eyes, I still lived alone and tried to find a way to, adapt, and still running and supporting myself, running my business with great difficulty, right? But becoming more and more proficient in it and trying to rebuild, my business side, because my business is not, yoga and so forth, but of course, I charge money for my healing, right? If I don't charge money, I will not have time to do anything in my life because the demand is so high, and I'll be left with depleted all the time, and probably I will die from, within a few days of expending all my energy, right? This is just a figurative this thing, but of course, when I'm healing, especially I'm doing terminal illnesses, I feel like, because I'm giving off my own life force energy. So there is a lot of people say it's the incorrect way, that you need to latch on to another power point, power source that has got unlimited, right? And I've got capacity to do that. But some people need emergency hands on, and I don't mind, giving off, and I know I will not die before my time. And even if I have to die, if I died saving my life, it's well worth it, right? Because you died saving a life, right? I believe in the philosophy that if you take a human life, right, it's as though you have destroyed all of you, mankind. That's how great sin it is. The value of even one human, right? That you take, and I also value all forms, right? I'm, vegan. I feel there's no sin in it, and so I'm not saying become vegetarian, but how do you eat a creature, that's so loving, and you can, you know, uh, take care of it. I love pets. I love animals, and I love, tropical fish, and I love birds, and I love birds, especially in the morning in the wild. I don't like to keep, in a cage. I feel so bad to keep a bird in a cage. And in the mornings when they start chirping, when I get up at 3 a.m., I'm starting to hear some of them. I said, wow, some of them are awake so early. It's chirping outside. I hear them, and some people say maybe it's an angel coming and, greeting me, in the form of a bird, and so forth. So who knows? So coming back, when I experienced that last, then I felt living from your heart is the most important. I know what's the taste of samadhi, right? And it's overwhelmed, so amazing. And I prefer to be in as I am now, and be in my heart. I'm not striving. Yes, I need to advance myself because I want to awaken, and be in the superconscious state 24/7 and awaken, the 100% capacity of the brain, because that's my duty. That's why we are born, to evolve the human race, right? And I'm trying to teach other people as well, to evolve them. But I don't want to go become lost in, another world, and not be here together with everyone that needs help. I feel more satisfied helping. Not that, I'm so great that, I'm the one that can help, but I like to, pitch in. There's so many amazing people doing so much work. I want to pitch in as well. This is from the activation ever since the heart chakra activated, and now I'm so close to my heart. I follow my heart. Sometimes logically you shouldn't be doing, but my heart says no, do it, and I don't worry, I do it, right? So some of my friends says, oh my God, you just make such drastic decisions suddenly. I said, no, suddenly my heart says, no, I must not eat it. Then he says, oh, but you don't talk about meat and everything. Only talk, suddenly you're talking about, an amazing steak. And I say, it's not a sin to eat it. And I should also be an example, that must not criminalize omnivore diet, because there's different types of bodies and different types of people that need different types of food. And I've got many students that reach the breathless state eating an omnivore diet, right? But of course, I encourage them to have 70% plant-based, wholesome, raw, green, healthy foods and so forth, and 30% and reduce the amount of meat and, so forth you're putting, to minimize it. But when you reach higher levels, it won't affect your spiritual progress. It won't dampen, because when your power is very high. And good example is Swami Vivekananda, right? He ate beef, right? Which is, it's, I think it's a criminal offense to kill a cow in India, right? And it's a criminal offense to even sell it or trade with it in most of India, right? Where they respect. And he came from India and from the Brahman, the religious sector. he wrote him off, right? When they found out when he was in London, and he had meat, and he had, the highest experiences of, meditation, and he could, go through, the Encyclopedia Britannica just by viewing each page and be questioned on any page. He had a photographic memory, totally amazing. And his law of knowledge that he spread on Advaita philosophy, and I would recommend you to, to go into it, is amazing, because there is a 9-volume edition of all his lectures that compiled by his students, on the works of Swami Vivekananda, right? It's a 9-volume edition, amazing exposition on Advaita philosophy. There's many aspects that people don't understand, from it, but I understood from my perspective everything, right? Because I had experience of a lot of the higher levels. Then you can understand where he's coming from, what he's talking about, right? So having all that experience, and then the last, when I saw, the green light up, and then whenever I pray, right, in the mosque, especially in everything turns green, and it feels so amazing and peaceful, like you overflowing with peace and tranquility and harmony. Like even the people come to shoot you is no problem, right? They can beat you, no problem. You're enjoying. It's so nice to be peaceful, and you want to spread peace, and you want to help people. You want to be alive. You want to work. You want to be a functional member of society. The heart says that. Don't go and become a monk in a monastery and everything, and extract yourself from society and become celibate. It's not what you are born for. If there's a creator and a higher intelligence which created everything that exists, right? He created, your reproductive organs as well, right? And it's there as a permanent fixture. Is it a sin? Is it created there for you to abstain from it? It's not natural to do that, right? My opinion, right? I'm not, saying negative, to all the monks, and great, respects to them. Many of my teachers were, monks, and I learned so much. They dedicated their entire life, took away, the focus from family life and business and supporting themselves 100% only on spreading knowledge of these sciences, and I learned so much from them. So, greatest honor to these people who make those sacrifices as well. But coming back to my this thing, when I got established in the heart, and also from my perspective, that the heart, if you look logically, the center, and then it goes downwards, and the Muladhara chakra is higher than the pleasure chakra, and the pleasure chakra is higher than your solar plexus chakra, which is in charge of your self-esteem, your power, and money, right? So without money, you can't even pray, right? You need to support yourself, feed yourself, clothe yourself. Even people who volunteered many years, there was a Canadian organization that sent volunteers to India, where Gopi Krishna was, for about a three-year period. They were funded, right? Money had to fund their living expenses. It's not free, right? Support has to come from somewhere. So first is money. Then, if you got money, then you can enjoy yourself, right? The sacral chakra. Next, you can go and enjoy yourself, right? So just bear with me when I'm explaining this, right? So so when you can enjoy yourself and so forth, and you're satisfied, you travel the world, and you can acquire knowledge and appreciate the arts and music and so forth, right? All the aesthetic things. Then you feel there's a higher thing you want to go into, you feel there is spirituality and so forth. Then is the root chakra, where the kundalini is going to be awakened, right? It rises from there, right? The Muladhara, it's based there. Then you work on developing that, and then it goes up the spine, right? These are the material things, right? Then you get the spiritual side from your heart chakra, right? If you go upwards, the next is the throat chakra for your mysticism, control over, uh, other spiritual entities and so forth. You can get the help, right? So you get a lot of people who are spiritual. There is one person, I forgot his name. He was interviewed in this Buddha in the gas pump. Um, that Saint Germain, right? Was with him all the time, and he could see, Saint Germain, or quite often, but other people cannot see, and is helping him, And he had a choice to stay, because he wanted to go into the highest level and go into the, where he's in this one level where it's so beautiful and amazing. But when he looked down, he saw the earth and so much of cries, people are crying. And then he wanted to die, he wanted to be there forever. And then when he looked down, people crying, and then he changed his mind, say, okay, I want to go back to earth. I changed my mind, I no longer, because Saint Germain was asked, what do you want, choose now. Because Saint Germain came and spoke to him. So he came back because he want to help the other people, right? So he want to serve. His heart, brought him, because you're going to be in a euphoric state and full of bliss and everything. It's a selfish thing, isn't it? You are in amazing blissfulness and you lost to, the world, right? And you come back down. This is for love of people. So the people who reached like the highest levels, they came back, they lowered themselves in order to spread knowledge and live amongst humans as humans, and spread knowledge amongst humans, for love of the people, right? And to help people, and because, not because the people going to reciprocate, because people crucified Jesus, right? They crucified him. And what did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? What an amazing statement, right? A person with true love and true heart, right? So isn't this the most amazing thing, to have love for, selfless love? So I'm of the opinion that the heart is the most superior chakra. And yes, you have higher experiences and it's all amazing. But eventually, the heart is the most amazing. I've experienced all the levels, and my experience of living in the heart is so, I believe it's the best. So thank you so much. I hope this helps you, and take care always.